A good place to be is when you start to get fed up with your sinful ways, right? You just start to get fed up with continuing to be convicted from God and ignoring it. You get fed up from continuing to disobey God. This is a perfect opportunity for you to just hand over your life and surrender, right? It's a good place to be because when you're fed up with something, you are done. You might not ever go back to that thing, right? And again, this is a good place to be because it allows you the opportunity to say, you know what, God, I'm done. I'm done disobeying you. I'm done being convicted and trying to ignore it and be like, oh, maybe I'm just overthinking it. Trying to create these excuses for why I'm not following you. Trying to create excuses for why I'm not reading my Bible. Why I'm not talking to you. Why I'm not, listening to gospel music. Why I put on worldly music before I put on gospel. Why I'm reading comments before I read my Bible. Why I'm focusing on watching movies but don't want to focus on you. I'm done. I am fed up with disobeying you. Right? Because disobedience is a sin too. If God is telling you to do something, if He's convicting you of doing something and you keep ignoring it, it's a sin. So when you're at that place to where you're fed up, that is a good place to be. That is one of the best places to be because it's like the last step of you actually surrendering. And it's not to say that just allow yourself to keep sinning until you. That's not the same mindset. It's just a point of where you're following God and you're like, God, I need help with all this, all this sin or whatever. And the more that you do it, you just get fed up, right? Because when you're in the presence of God, no matter how many times you sin, He's going to eventually work that out, right? He's going to eventually convict you to the point where you just don't want to do it anymore. And that's why it's important to lean on Him no matter how many times you're sinning, no matter how bad your sin is or that you think that it is. It's important to lean on Him because when you lean on Him, He can then give you reverence. He can then give you a feeling of godly fear to where you don't want to sin because you know you're disrespecting Him. So I don't know who's in that position to where they're fed up with their mistakes. They're fed up with their decisions that they're making. That they're finally being like, you know what, God, take it, take the wheel, take the wheel. You drive it yourself. Like I don't even care to drive it myself. Go ahead, you got it. And I pray that you continue to get fed up with your sin because when you realize that sin is actually bad for us, like when God tells us not to sin, it's actually just protection. You see the depths of it. You see, oh, God is actually just protecting us. He's not telling us we can't do this or you're not allowed to do that because I said so. No, it's like, my child, this is actually killing you. Like, this is actually not protecting you. Like, sex before marriage is bad for you. You can get diseases. You can get soul ties. You can create connections with people that aren't for you, right? Smoking, drinking, like you're having these out of body experiences. You're letting evil spirits into your body. My child, it's bad for you. Like cursing God's name, you're cursing my name. It's bad for you. Speaking disrespectfully to your mother or father, that can kill you. That can make you die at an early age. It's protection. Once you really start to look at it like that, you're like, oh, God is actually just an entire protection. Like He's a protection shield. He's literally telling me the bad things that I shouldn't be doing, right? So I don't know, again, who's in that situation, but that is a good place to be. When you get fed up, throw your hands up and say, I surrender, God. Wave the white flag. Like, I surrender.